Good day, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to DocTalk Live Q&A. Today's show is called A Brave New World, okay? I want everybody to understand something. The only authority is inside of you. Until you trust yourself, you won't trust life itself. I hope that you're all understanding this. This is where we're at right now. People do not trust themselves, and because they have never been given a proper manual how to operate their emotions, how to operate their physical body. This is the mess we're in. I'm going to tell you something right now. This is not about me bashing anyone, but guess what? The medical system is for emergency care. We went to the medical system, okay, for all our health care, and now we're in an emergency. The food industry works for pharma. Do you get that? The only person you might be able to trust is the farmer. You need to get this. There's no such thing as new and improved. Nature does not need to be new and improved because nature is what it is. We are from nature, and if we don't return to nature, that's where we're at right now. And I need everyone to get this. So, the only authority is inside of you. Until you trust yourself, you won't trust life itself. How many people out there do not trust life? I trust life right now. I trust life totally. And I need you to understand that. But you need to get this. The reason why you don't trust life is because you've been lied to and justified to. And how many promises have been given? Now understand this. When you actually make other people responsible for your body, your mind, your family, your joy, your happiness, this is what ends up. I want to tell you something. I started this whole personal treatment and training thing where people come for 7 days, and understand something. That changes families. That changes their lives forever. You'll never see a change in your life unless you're going to devote 45 minutes to an hour every night with you and your family or your loved one, your partner, and you're going to delve deep inside of you and really get to understand that created the universe and that what your potential really truly is, okay? Because our potential has been limited. It's been limited by religion, government, and every corporation out there. Corporations have no blood, they have no feeling, they have no heart, they have no pulse. And this is why we're all running on empty. So now I want to talk about how to thrive and stay alive in the brave new world. I'm going to be releasing, okay, an 8-hour to 9-hour slideshow that I'm going to lay out the whole thing to you, the best that I can of my 40 years. I can't lay it out any shorter, and I don't want to go any longer, but I'm preparing it right now, and it should take me 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm just going to release it, and it's going to be in my masterclass, A to Z Wellness Masterclass. And if you email me at quickstart@docofdetox.com, you can go through my Braveheart class on the emotional aspect. Because if you don't get your emotions together, this is how they've taken advantage of you. Every time that they bring out a new threat or a new fear, what happens to you? What happens to the rest of your family? And what are you doing at home right now? Are you enjoying the time? And you're going, are you crazy, Darrell? No, I'm not, actually. I'm not crazy. This is a test. Let me tell you something. You will know your emotional health when things are not going well for you. Anybody can be emotionally stable when the red carpet is rolled out, but when things aren't going your way, that is when you truly find your emotional health. Everything else is just a mask. Now the mask has been pulled off. The mask has been pulled off on an emotional level. The mask has been pulled off on a physical level, and both of these are totally, okay, under attack because your spiritual has been under attack for years. Let me ask you a question. Are you prepared to hold the line for yourself and your family? When are you going to do that? When are you going to say no when you should be saying no, and yes when you should be saying yes? Are you prepared to create a totally loving and healthy relationship in your home with yourself and your family? Well, if you're not, life sucks, doesn't it? Do you know how many people that I meet and run into, and how many families I meet and run into, and they just have, honestly, miserable lives. Miserable lives. And is it their fault? Absolutely not. But I'm going to tell you something right now. It's up to them to pull it together. It's up to them to pull it together. But it's up to you to pull yourself together first. Are you prepared to get rid of all the inflammatory, man-made, processed, chemical-ridden foods out of your fridge and cupboards? I guarantee you that if I walk almost into any home, there'll be everything in there from crackers to chips to ice cream, just the volume, to ice cream, to alcohol, okay, to cigarettes, to pot, because pot is now the drug of choice. You know, most of my friends that used to have a toke the odd time, they toke 2 or 3 times a day now. That's right. Because now it's okay to do it all the time because it's good for you. And now it's legal. Okay? You know, this is like the last thing we needed, okay, was to be stoned all the time, because when you're stoned, you're not on point. And when you're not on point, things get done around you and underneath you that you don't want to have happen. Oh, look where we are today. Look where we are today. And I'm not saying this to beat up anybody, but when you don't look after yourself and you don't look after your home and your family, this is what happens. This is what happens. Okay? So understand something. We've got to get rid of all toxic things from our home. We've got to get rid of all toxic habits. You know what? Ask yourself, what do you do in your spare time? What do you do? What are your habits? Because your habits make and shape you. And understand something. Whether you want to believe me or not, but 92% of the population out there has an autoimmune disease. Oh, isn't that just great? I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. Are you prepared to erase and replace beliefs that no longer serve you? Now, that no longer serve, you no longer want to serve the man, do you? You don't want to no longer serve corporations, do you? Well, then you need to get a little mini you, like I've said 1,000 times. You need to start looking at your personality. You know when somebody says to you, why do you talk to me like that? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And nobody really knows, you know, why they do what they do, because nobody's been trained to take a look at themselves. We don't even realize, okay, that 30 to 70% of our beliefs are even before we come out of our mother's womb. That's right. And then when we get out here, 70 to 90% of our beliefs are all instilled into us before we're 7. And then nobody ever told us, hey, okay, now you're 7 years old, you're graduating. So what's your graduation? Your graduation is to go in and erase and replace these beliefs. And nobody does that. Nobody does that. You know what? I only find like maybe once every 2 or 3 years an enlightened, truly enlightened being, not somebody that, you know, says that they're some kind of spiritual guru. I'm talking about somebody that shines light and energy, and they just love life, and they're just grateful all the time, and they can live in the present moment. If we can't do that, we're toast. Let me explain something. Here's where we are right now. Your life, okay, is a Visa card. All right? Look at your life as a Visa card. Look at your body as a Visa card. Now, I'm not asking you about, did you make payments on your Visa card? If you made payments on your Visa card like the majority of the population, well, we know you're broke. Did you get what I just said? The majority of the population is only $400 from not meeting next week's bills. Did you know that? 50% of the population in North America. That's where we're at. So now let's look at your Visa card as your body. So what do you do for your body? What do you do with this God-given gift? How do you really treat it? Let me tell you something. You shouldn't be overweight. You should have really good skin color. You should have loads of energy if you've been respecting that God-given gift. You know, really, I'll have people come up to me and they'll go, you know what? I am so spiritual, or they're really religious about something, and you know what? And then they're like 50 pounds overweight, and you know they're ready to blow. And I'm not tearing them down. I'm not tearing anybody down. I'm trying to tell you, why don't you go for the whole package? You know, it seems like we're either really good at making money, or we're really good at looking after our health, but we're really crappy when it comes to relationships with our family. We need to really take a good look at ourselves and know that we have the potential of everything. All right? So now what we've done in this world of ours, and just so you know this, the virus, okay, is going to be worse here. Well, not in Italy, because Italy, they smoke too much, they drink too much, and they eat way too much pasta and dairy, okay? And whether you want to believe that or not, it's all about your diet. Because understand something, no virus can take me down. No virus is going to take anybody down that's healthy, okay? An unhealthy virus cannot take down a healthy person. And if you've been watching the news, you would realize that. Look who's getting sick. Look who's been sick already. So if you're sick already, then you've just rolled out the red carpet here. So what you've done is you've spent your visa. Keep spending your visa. Why? Every time you drink alcohol, drink wine, smoke cigarettes, every time you eat processed foods, every time that you do bottled water, every time you don't drink water, you spend your Visa card when you don't realize that your large intestine is the holy grail, that you need to have bowel movements like 2 or 3 every day. So that's really the bottom line. We don't even know how to look after ourselves. When I say to somebody, do you know what love is? They'll say, oh, of course I do. Well, they do, but it's tainted. When I say to somebody, do you know what a proper bowel movement is? Of course they do. They only poop it themselves and only what they know from their family, and they poop like they poop. You know, do you know what a good diet is? Well, of course we know what a good diet is. What everybody else is eating. Well, that's not true. That's the diet. The diet that everybody else is eating has caused this problem. Now, here's the other thing. So here's the deal. What are we going to do when we get to the other side of this virus? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to speak out more about corporations and the government. And I'm not going to be like, you know, with the banner down on the street, but I'm going to use this vehicle to let people know that, you know what, the government and the corporations have created the environment that created this virus. The government and the corporations out there have created the environment to create this virus. How's that? Well, our government is supposed to have regulations to try to stop GMOs, to try to stop. Why do we have vaping, that 80% of children in middle school are vaping? Why do we have cigarettes? Why do we make pot illegal? Why do we make it legal? Why do we have, in a corner store, we have more cancer-causing chemicals than any place else? And you know what it's called? It's called a convenience store. We're conveniently poisoning you. So I want you to take a look at your day right now on an emotional and a physical level, and start off in the morning and ask yourself, how much love did you show yourself? How many times did you look in a mirror and you say, Darrell, I love you so much. I'm going to protect and respect you. The world is not doing that now. And it's not doing it because guess what? The corporations have been allowed to run free because the government doesn't care. Well, do they care? Do they really care? Okay, if you knew about the government, you knew about lobbyists, you'd know that for everyone in the government, there's 2 people lobbying in there to get as much poison into our foods and as much drugs out to us as possible, and to fill us up with as much chemicals as possible. This is where we are today. And guess what? There's more of us than them. If the majority of the population were to actually speak up and take a stand. But everybody's so scared of the government. Everybody's so scared of corporations. Everybody's so scared of everything. I'm scared of being scared. So you blew your Visa card. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do now? Hey, you know what everybody says? Love is the answer. But guess what? Love, it's only an ingredient. It's what you do with it that matters. We have been taught that loving ourselves is selfish. How's that working for you right now? How's that working for you that looking after yourself, caring for yourself was a selfish act? How's that working for you? You have God-given power, and you've given it away. And to add fuel to the fire, you actually think that the medical care is health care, when the only care is self-care. And this is why the coronavirus is wreaking havoc today. That's part of the reason. There's many reasons, but it's all got to do with, I'll tell you what it's got to do. It's got to do with our relationship with ourselves. What's the relationship with yourself? Would you ever put a poison in your mouth? Oh my God, are you kidding? Everybody does it, and everybody does it a few times a day. We have been taught to hate ourselves. Now, if you totally loved yourself and you were grateful for that which created you, you would honor that, wouldn't you? But you have been programmed not to. I just love when people will come and they will actually judge me and ask me what my religious background is. And that person that's talking to me, I have to stand like 4 or 5 feet away because their breath is so bad, because they're rotting inside. I think that which created the whole universe would like you to first respect that which you've been given, and not all man-made rules that we've made up. And right now, guess what? 90% of the population vibrates at the level of this virus. So, you know what? You know when they say to us, this virus is going to be really devastating? Well, do you know why they know that? Why do they know that, everyone? They know it because the air has been poisoned, the water's been poisoned, and you've been poisoned. We're all rotting from the inside out. I mean, how many people do you know their tummy sticks way out or it's hanging way down? Okay? Now, how many people do you know do not have one illness? Don't have high blood pressure, or don't have diabetes, or don't have migraines all the time, or don't have stomach problems, or don't have psoriasis or eczema? Okay? Let me put it to you this way. Louis Pasteur stated that the bug is nothing, the terrain is everything. We have turned our backs on the laws of nature and our creator. That's it right there. Because guess what he meant? He said that there is no bug that will ever be created that can ever take you down if you've got your inner terrain is vibrating higher than the bug. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, frequency is a science. Everything has a frequency. Every virus has a frequency. Every human being puts off a frequency. Now, the frequency you have, if it's way up here and the virus is here, it's not touching you. If the frequency you have is down here and the virus is here, well, you know what? We just need you to get really stressed out for about an hour, which that could probably happen, and dump all that acidity into your body, bring your vibration down a little lower. And so understand this, 80% of the population is pre-diabetic, which means they have an emotional, nutritional, inflammatory lifestyle that vibrates at the level of this virus. 80% of the population is overweight or obese, go figure, which means they vibrate at the level of this virus. 50% of all children are overweight or obese, which means they vibrate at the level of this virus. And right now they say it's not hitting children, but this thing will mutate. I'm going to go over some things with you today, but it would take me like, when I do the how to thrive and stay alive, okay? When I do that, I'll be going through everything in detail, and then you can bite it off, and I'm going to try to get it out as soon as I can. But the reality is, I'm going to go through the most important things today, all right, that I do. And then you can decide if you want to do them or not. And everybody's got good ideas out there, but some of my ideas you really want to harness, and I'll emphasize on those, okay? So 85% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means They vibrate at the what? Level of the virus. You can't have bugs in you crawling around you unless, you know what? Okay, where do you find worms, bad bacteria, and viruses? You find them in things that are rotting. You find it in a manure pile. I'm not calling you a manure pile, but you find it in things that are rotting, okay? All right. How does your underarm smell? How do your bowel movements smell? How does your breast smells? How does your vagina smell? Okay, what condition is your skin in? These are all things that you need to take a look at. You live in an unhealthy society, so when you compare yourself to the majority of the population, you're in trouble right off the bat. Right off the bat. So you are either healthy or you're not. That's it. Until you feed the spirit, your spirit, you will never heal the body. Unless you are willing to raise your vibration and turn your back on this inflammation nation, you've got to turn your back on them. So here's the deal. Oh, this is really great. So now you've got a family. Oh, hope you don't have a large one. My God, the larger the family, the bigger problem you're going to have, right? Because as soon as you start to become a health nut and you want to do juicing or a coffee enema, or you want to do the fasting and you want to start making better decisions like turning the Wi-Fi on at night, you wouldn't believe how many men don't want the Wi-Fi on. So you know what? The more family you have, the more family you get to fight with. And you're not even fighting with your family. You're fighting with their subconscious that has been programmed by society. My God, if we could just get one thing out there to everybody. You've been programmed by a toxic system to hurt yourself and your family. You have been programmed to poison yourself and poison your family. All for a corporation, an entity with no heart, no blood, no lymph, no feeling, no emotion, but a bottom line. And you know what? I know you think that I'm an extremist. I know you think I'm exaggerating. But I'm not. I'm not exaggerating. Not exaggerating at all. And that's the problem. I wish I was. So again, let me just say this. It's self-care. It's not healthcare. You know what? Coming to me for treatments continually or doing the same thing over again. Well, who does that? People who have lost their power. Why would we continually do the same thing? Why would we take a drug that was toxic? Why would we eat a food that was poisonous? Because our minds have been poisoned generation after generation. And understand something. It's self-love. Not always looking for love. Who needs another heartbreak? How's your heart feeling right now? You better be filling it up with love from you and know that you are loved and that you have the power inside of you. But you will not have your power back until you go in and you retrain your brain. Until you do what? If you want to change your reality, you've got to change your personality. You cannot believe in what you believe in right now, or you're going to stay the same person. The same person is not who you want to be. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I am so grateful for everything I have, but I want more. Did you get that? I'm so grateful for everything that I have, but I want more because I am more. I'm infinite. And I have unlimited potential, and so do you. And everybody does on this planet. Okay? So welcome to a brave new world. So remember, I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust. I will honor. I will respect. I will protect. And I will forgive and totally love myself first and foremost, before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. Because I can, I'm healed, I'm Braveheart. If I don't do this, how am I going to help my son, my daughter? How am I going to help all my children? How am I going to help the people around me if I'm not strong? How am I going to help the people around me if I don't respect and protect and honor myself? I can't give that. You can't give what you're not. And you're not going to give what you're not because you don't have it. You don't have it to give because you've been programmed that it's not there, but it is. Look, I live in this world, but I am not of it. I do not participate in the majority of its belief systems or programs. I am the creator of my own life. I am the creator of my own life. Are you the creator of your own life? Let me tell you something. So, for the very few that have discovered their authentic selves, this virus is like any other. So let's talk about the perfect day for the perfect life. But before I start, let's talk about the virus just a little bit. Because there's going to be so much talk about this virus that I'm not going to keep going on about the virus, everyone. I'm going to be going on and giving people support emotionally and nutritionally. I don't want to be caught up in this thing, okay? Because what you focus on, you become. What you focus on, you get, okay? Like people say, oh, well, it runs in my family. It's genetic. Or, you keep talking about it's going to happen, right? What do you want? If I were to actually be able to get into your brain and take out every prominent thought that was toxic, there'd probably only be 10% left of your thoughts. Because 90% of them right now, because right now everything has been heightened with this. Did you know that the majority of the population, 70 to 90% of their thoughts are negative? And you're going to go, that's not true. Well, are you having a great day? Are you in love with your life every moment? And when somebody passes on or somebody gets sick, do you get sick? Do you make yourself sick? Or are you able to hold that loving line? Okay. Are you able to hold the loving line now? Do you walk around with a slight smile on your face and focus on what you want to see and do and what you can do to support your family? Have you stopped participating in negative talk? Have you stopped participating in putting anybody down? Because you can't do that. I've made my claims today because I'm out here talking to you, and I'm telling you that those people that we put in charge actually wrote the rule book, and we all had the same rule book, and that's the rule book that got us sick. Okay, because guess what? God doesn't make junk, and God did not curse us. We cursed ourselves. Okay, this virus obstructs respiratory pathways with thick mucus that solidifies in the respiratory system. But what if you already have mucus congestion in your respiratory system? Are you ready for this? Well, that's 92% of the population. We are an inflammation nation. Don't kid yourself. Our so-called way of life has created the perfect breeding ground for this virus. Understand that God does not make junk, like I just said. We have been ruled, schooled, and fooled, but understand something. You have the power to turn this around with massive personal action. Listen, are you going to be able to totally forgive yourself for everything you've ever done and everybody else in your family and start just shining that beautiful light? I'm not telling you to allow people to keep hurting you, but try to just forgive everyone and forgive even the corporations and forgive all the politicians and their false promises and forgive everybody about who says they've got the cure, and just let it all go. And just know that inside of you lies that God-given power and that nature provides everything that you want. And yes, I know that there's a lot of things going on and there's negative frequencies hitting us and Wi-Fi, and they're trying to bring 5G. But understand, everything that they bring out that's negative, we can neutralize it. If there's a bad frequency, we'll neutralize it with a good one. Okay, welcome to planet Earth. Okay, where we've always been at war with ourselves and everyone else. But the day that you stop going to war with yourself, the war is over. You will never hear that I will ever go to war. I am not going to war with anyone. Because that is the poison pill. All right, let's talk about something. The domino effect of unhealthy living. Now, here's the deal. First of all, I've said it before, but we have been taught to go in and destroy our good bacteria, our large intestine, which is the holy grail of our body. It truly is. Okay? For every 9 times that your bacteria speak to your body, your brain only speaks once. That's how intelligent they are. You actually think that your brain does the thinking. No, it doesn't. It stores the programs. It dumps the chemicals, the hormones. It runs the programs. But no, you have consciousness outside of you, inside of you, in your cells, outside your cells. It's that vibration. It's your spirit, which you came with, which you'll leave. And I'll drop this vehicle off before I leave. It's just a rental. But if I'm going to rent it, I'm going to respect it. And here's the deal. You've been taught not to. So understand your large intestine is really big. And nobody's talking about this out there. Did you notice that? Nobody's talking about bringing down the toxic load really fast. We got to bring the toxic load down fast here, everybody. And how are you going to do that? Well, I'll tell you right now. You better start looking at your large intestine, and I'm going to be talking about how to go through that. And here's the deal. So don't clean out your large intestine. Oh, and then tell me that you've got good bowel movements, which is not true. Because I'll tell you right now, you can believe it or not believe it. Everybody here works here. They won't lie. Maybe I will. But I only eat one meal a day. Okay, so here's my lemon, cayenne, and honey drink. I did 2 glasses of carrot juice this morning. And I did a quart of Fulvic, Humic, and Tummy Love. And that's all I had. And then I'm going to have a meal tonight. But every morning I have 2 to 3 bowel movements. And they're big. 1 meal. Go figure. Go figure that, will you? And then people tell me I have 2 meals, but eat 3 times a day. Well, yeah, okay. So it's getting compacted. You're reabsorbing your waste. Understand, you don't even know what a good bowel movement is. And if you were to go and do a proper cleansing for 9 months, you wouldn't establish a good bowel for at least 9 months to a year. That's right. That's right. We have so disrespected it. And then the bowel backs up. We start leaking the poisons into the bloodstream. We back up the liver. That's why we have so many liver problems right now. And then guess what? The pelvis, which is the soup bowl, takes all that chemical, all that poison down into your pelvis. Don't ask yourself why there's hysterectomies, myomectomies. Don't ask yourself why you've got cysts on your ovaries and you've got an infected bladder and your prostate's ready to blow. And you can turn all of this around. And I'm telling you that right now. You certainly can. You can turn this all around. As soon as you discover the authentic you, and as soon as you discover that back 100 years ago when the medical system came to be, 120 years ago, the whole time they've been trying to teach us that the body no longer heals and nature sucks. Well, I guess that's not true, eh? What do you think of that? And understand something. The doctors are amazing. The nurses are amazing. It's everything behind that. So understand that. All right. So anyways, your large intestine creates what we call a domino effect. So from the large intestine, then the liver, okay, your bloodstream, then the liver, and then guess what? And then your lymph system, and then your kidneys, and then your lungs. All right? Okay, so let's talk about it. So let's go to the emotional side of things right now. So the invisible creates the visible. That which we call Lord God Creator, at one point decided to create the planet, to create all the planets, all the stars and everything. There was a time in your life when you wanted to create having a beautiful woman or a beautiful man to live with. There was a time in your life when you wanted to create a baby. There was a time in your life when you wanted to create a beautiful job and a beautiful home. There was a time in your life when you wanted to just create. Well, guess what? That's all we want to do. That's all we ever will do. We are infinite creators. We will create even after we leave this planet. We'll be creators. That's what it's about. The universe is our playground, right? And guess what we did? Planet Earth was our playground, was actually our sandbox to play in, but now it's a kitty litter. And now we're going to have to clean it up. So understand the invisible creates the visible. So why is it that 2 people raised by 2 parents see things differently? Well, because they have different perception. All right? And you can create the most beautiful life or you can create hell on earth. So the invisible creates the visible. Otherwise, emotions, okay, energy and motion, E stands for energy, emotions create the physical. So if you haven't learned how to master your emotions, and if you haven't learned how to weed out the garden of your mind of the negative emotions that were passed on to you by your parents and by the schools and by some religions and by government and everybody else, because everybody's toxic. Pretty well everybody's toxic. I mean, seriously. You can't help but jump down into this toxic soup and come here. I mean, that's the part I really loved, right? I love this part. I'm never going to feel like a failure again, and I'm never going to feel like a sinner again, because I'm not going to buy into either one of those things. So what are you going to do to bring up your frequency? What are you going to do to bring up your vibration? What if you're feeling really guilty? Boom. What if you're feeling like a sinner? Boom. So how much do you need to be punished? Do you need to punish yourself enough that you have an autoimmune disease, or that you bring your vibration down, that the virus jumps in and goes, honey, I'm home? So you better think about that. So you better let yourself off the hook, and don't wait until the world lets you off the hook. Let yourself off the hook right now and bring up that vibration, okay? So understand something. With your thoughts, okay, with your thoughts, you could create a baby or you could create a tumor. Well, guess what we've been creating? Lots of babies and lots of tumors down here, right? And guess what? You can say whatever you want, but guess what? If you had the belief of total self-care, total self-love, you're not going to get sick. You're not going to get sick. God did not create junk, and don't you dare even try to tell me that. It's not happening. And understand something. Most of the people out there that call themselves health practitioners are actually talking about things, and they're doing their best with the information they have, but it came from a foundation of untruth. And that's why I don't even want to know about the stories out there. I want everybody to just understand something. Whatever you can do to get close to nature, to get close to your creator right now, is what you're going to want to do. And really, just really understand something. You have the power to vibrate higher than any bug. You're way bigger than a bug. All right? So, do you understand that we see everything as an image first before anything else? Now, what am I talking about? Okay, well, your image of me. Some people are going, whoa, what a crackpot. Some people are going, oh, he's got some good information. Some people are going, hey, just turn that off. So everybody's going to have different perceptions. And you know why you have different perceptions about things? Because you have different beliefs. So understand something. If I were you, I'd be asking yourself, the beliefs I'm having right now, are they going to serve me? Or are these beliefs really mine? Or are these beliefs going to serve a higher purpose? So if you're not going to look at your beliefs, you're not going to look at the way that you imagine things, then you're going to get yourself into trouble. Because we start off with an image, and that image creates a thought. That thought creates an emotion. That emotion creates a frequency, and it's all about frequency. And that frequency will either put you in a parasympathetic state or put you in a sympathetic state. And guess what? Everybody's in a sympathetic state right now. So what does that mean? Well, that means what? That you are sitting and there's a tiger coming after you to eat you, but you're not running. You're just sitting. You're sitting here and you're going to burn up. So here's the deal. You're going to say to me, what the heck is he talking about? Who wouldn't be freaked out? Well, I'm not. But you're going to have to take massive action if you're not healthy. You're going to have to take massive action if your family's not healthy. You know what? You can throw out all the processed food, all the cereal you've been feeding the kids, all the milk you've been feeding the kids, all the sugar you bring into the home, all the cookies you bring into the home, all the chips, all the ice cream. Do I need to keep going? All the bread. I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to clean this up. And you know what? That's why I say it's a new world. It's a Braveheart world. It's where we're going to get our Bravehearts on. It's where we're going to hold the line against dysfunctional beliefs that we have ourselves. So understand something. At least it would have been better if there was a real tiger, because when you feel really stressed out, you're dumping what? Histamine, adrenaline, and cortisol into your body. Stands for hack, and you're trying to hack things up because you're going to get all congested and get mucus in your lungs. Did you get that? That's what you're going to get if you stay fearful, because you're going to be dumping histamine, adrenaline, cortisol into your body. That's going to create inflammation. And when you have inflammation, you got to create mucus, because the inflammation is going to eat holes in your lungs. It's going to eat holes in your tissue. So you got to create mucus. So you're going to create all this extra mucus in here if you freak out. It's not just going to be here. It'll be everywhere in your bowels. It can be anywhere in the body, but especially openings like your whole digestive tract and your lungs. That's where you'll find the most mucus. Your ears, your nose, your eyes. That's where you'll find the most mucus. And that's what you're creating. So when you get really freaked out and you go into fight, fright, flight, guess what happens? You shut your immune system down. So now the whole of North America, well, maybe the world, are shutting down their immune system to a certain degree. Some people are shutting it right down. Some people have their immune systems already shut down, and now they've added this on top. So don't you dare go around freaking people out. If you're freaked out, go have a cold shower, or go have a hot sauna, or go for a run, or do something. But don't bring freak out home. Don't you come home and scare people. Stop talking about the news. The only thing that you need to do right now, there's no vaccine. The only thing you need to do right now is to get right into nature and to start dumping that toxic load out of your organs. That's what you got to do. And getting rid of, I hate this person, I hate that, I hate this, I hate that. Get rid of every hate belief. And start really trying to bring in that whole forgiveness and love thing. I'm telling you, I kid you not, it's a really big deal. It was hard for me sometimes, and sometimes I slide. I just want to hate somebody. I just want to hate things. You know, I do. I know it's work. But every day I work at this. But we said we could come down here and play this game. So now guess what? You're running because there's no tiger. Most of the time you stress out and you're sitting here and you're not moving. So that means that histamine, that adrenaline, that cortisol is just sitting in here. At least if you're running, you'd sweat it out, you'd pee it out, you'd move it out, you'd burn it up. And I'm telling you, right now, we are the worst culture for this. Wait till you see how many people, okay, are going to burn their nervous systems out. They're going to burn their immune system out. If you don't get connected to your breath and if you don't calm down, all right? So I'm going to be going through how to do that. So now, that's called hack. That's fight, fright, flight, and that's a sympathetic state. And it's not very sympathetic to you. It's going to take you apart. But when you can get yourself into the lion heart breathing, I mean, if you were to just take 3 breaths, 6 seconds in, through your nose. Do that right now 3 times, and you're going to find that, wow, I just brought myself right back to parasympathetic state. That's what you do. And listen, our breath connects us to our higher self. And when you only breathe through your nose, shallow, you have gone to your lower self, which means you've lowered your frequency. Take deep breaths, make your diaphragm work, fill up your abdomen, get the oxygen in. Listen, these viruses can't stand it. Do you think we should fill up our lungs with oxygen or just bring in a teeny bit? What do you think? All right? So understand this. When you're in a parasympathetic state and you can bring yourself back, you're going to release dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins. It spells dose. Are you getting your daily dose? If you're not going to rest, restore, repair. You're not going to feel peace. You're not going to feel tranquility. You're not going to feel calm. So let me ask you a question. So go ahead. Freak the hell out. Go ahead. Go ahead. Do it right now. Come on. Lay down on the floor. Have a tantrum. You'll be exhausted. Okay? Now freak out like your life is going to be over right now. You're going to have a headache. And guess what? 5 minutes of that is enough to drain your immune system for 48 hours. So go ahead and freak out. And it also just wipes out your vitamin C in your body. So just know that too. You couldn't take enough vitamin C. All right. So what I want you to do, do it if you'd like, but I'd like you to take a look in my Braveheart book, or go to my library, or just send me an email to quickstart@docofdetox.com and go learn how to do the lion heart breathing, and then learn how to do the love band right away. See these love bands? Okay. We had some problem with getting them, but we're going to be giving these free. And this, no, I'm not saying this because I want you to buy my product, but we're going to give this free to everyone. You know, my guy who does all the shipping and that, he says, "Oh my gosh, dear, I don't know if I do that." And I'm saying, yeah, we better do this. You know, I'd like to have a lot of friends later, you know, because guess what? This is called Braveheart. 3, 2, 1, I got this. And if you don't have one of these, get yourself a hairband. And now, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. The people that hate themselves the most and are the sickest, they wouldn't put this on. They won't put this on. I go, where is it? Oh, I took it off because of the shower. I said, are you kidding me? It can get wet. Oh, you're not wearing one? Listen, I've got staff members that would never put these on. But I'm not after them to do it. If you want to change, if you want to bring your life back, let me tell you something. If it wasn't for this Love Band, Life Band thing that I put together, many years ago, I don't know where I'd be today. Because this band is snug as a hug. You know what? I mean, Lewis, most of the guys here, they wouldn't dare tell you that they were going to love themselves. They wouldn't dare tell you that they were going to totally love themselves or love themselves at all. Because guess what? They'd be coming against their families. Because they were taught that's a selfish thing. Am I right or wrong, Lewis? Well, here's the deal. You're not supposed to. It's a selfish act. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If you're not selfish enough to know what you need right now, you're in trouble. And that is totally loving and honoring yourself, because people around you are going to dishonor themselves, and they're going to keep on pulling you into the same routine. And there's systems out there that pretend that they're doing great things for you, but they're not. And they're not great things. If they were great, where would we be today? Let me tell you something. There's enough money, there's enough water, there's enough food, but there's not enough self-love and self-care. And I'll tell you that much. Okay, so the Love Band, it's as snug as a hug. And all you got to do every time you do this, that's a kiss. But also, think about it. Right now I'm thinking about, I just heard that my Aunt Martha got the coronavirus. Right away, I snapped that. Why? Because right away, I'm not going to go into fear. So every time that I have a fearful thought, I'm dumping more adrenaline, more cortisol, and more histamine into my body and becoming more acidic. I'm wearing myself down. We are taught that we're supposed to suffer for every incident. Like, families will go, if this happens, you suffer this much. Other ones will go, no, that's not true. If that happens, we let that go. Oh, another family would say, no, we suffer that long for it. So you got to get rid of the suffering thing, guys. So try to see if you can do the breathing, the Love Band work, because this is as snug as a hug, because you're reminding yourself that you do care. This is a kiss, but this is a reminder every time that I go off track, I'm just going to go bam right away, because you know what you've got? You've got 1 second before it jumps into your subconscious mind and takes you for a ride. And for some people, it's 30 seconds. It can be 3 hours, or it could be 3 days when something happens. Or you can go like this, 3, 2, 1, I got this. The new me is not like that. The new me has got this. We can change this. You're going to have to try anyways. And then I would like you to go and do the mirror work. Okay, and you can find this all in my Braveheart work. And you're going to go into the mirror every morning and every night. Take a look at, remember when I did the Braveheart quote at the beginning? Even if you just do this. And please, just try this for me, okay? Can you just try it? Nobody's going to know, okay? And if you can say it out loud, you don't have to scream it. Darrell, today and every day from this moment on, I will love, respect, protect, and honor you first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so that I can become the light for my family. I got this. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Just say that. Do it 10 times. Repetition is the key to set you free. And do it every morning and every night. And every time you go to the bathroom, you have to say it at least once. Whether you pee, whether you, number 2, whether you brush your teeth, whatever the case. Every time you go into the car, you have to do it before you start the car on. Before you leave the car to go into the house or the office, you're going to say this. Watch how your life changes. Watch how you become stronger than any virus. Okay? Because understand something. Stress is worse than any diet. But if you have bad moods and bad food, if you have bad moods, you're going to have bad food forever. You will be like a ticking time bomb. Look at, when's the last time you had a bad mood and you went and made a salad or a blender drink? That didn't happen. So understand something. Don't allow yourself to have these bad moods. You do understand that depression is just somebody who has fear. You do understand that you had so much fear and anxiety that your brain had to go into depression, had to lower the energy levels to shut you down. So now you don't worry anymore because you were going to burn yourself out. Because if it was true worry, if it was really happening, you would have taken action. So every time that you start 3, 2, 1, I got this. That's not me. Now, what do I need to do? Do I need to stay calm here and just breathe? Or should I take massive personal action to go over here or do this? Or did my mind just make that up? You know what? We are so addicted to stress. We are so addicted to actually triggering our adrenals. Everybody's got their adrenals fried because everybody's looking for the high, when we should be going inside, and then we should be looking up to get high. All right. So understand the amount of inflammation that you have will dictate the strength of your immune system. So that means if you've got a lot of inflammation in your body, like any autoimmune disease, how's that? Cancer, diabetes, I mean, any illness. If you've been diagnosed with an illness, you're full of inflammation. The more inflammation you have, the less immune system you have. And this is why everybody's freaking out there. Because we've created an inflammation nation. And they know that you can't have inflammation and be able to keep a virus away. The virus comes in and goes, honey, I'm home. Look at this. Low vibrational, toxic. Whoa. Guess why? Inflammation means that the tissue has low integrity. And low integrity tissue is like a magnet to a virus, a bad bacteria, fungus, and worms. They all come for the parasite party. I'm telling you. So here's the deal. We think that pain, swelling, and redness is a disease. It's not. It's a healing. And people like to say, oh, we got to shut that down. People do not even know how to react to certain things. But the problem is, because we don't know how to react, we don't know how to bring the pain or the swelling or the redness down, we'll either do it through drugs or we'll just suffer it out because we have not been given a manual to look after ourselves. So here's the deal. What happens? Well, you dump all these chemicals and you create crystallization, scar tissue, and displaced calcium, and then eventually fibroids and tumors, adhesions, and then you need surgery, and then you have more scar tissue. And this creates physical blocks, which slows down the blood flow, the lymph flow, and your spirit. That's right. Just like this. If I wanted to make a phone call, but I wanted to call someone and the walls were thick cement, would they be able to pick up the signal? No. So what happens is the more calcium that you lose from your bones into your tissues, and the more scar tissue and crystallization, the more physical blocks you have, the less energy flow, invisible energy flow, which is the most important because energy actually is invisible because everything you eat and drink leaves the body. Oh my God, is that true? Yes. Everything you eat and drink leaves the body except for the frequency, because we are frequency beings. We are light energy, electromagnetic beings that are actually, we're all aliens. We came down here to do this Earth game, right? But we feed off frequency, and that's why 5G is going to fry our brain. It's like a microwave. That's why your phone is frying your brain. That's why all these things that are happening right now. That's why when you have a negative emotion, that creates a negative frequency, and that's frying your system out. So understand, we need positive frequencies wherever we can get them, from our food, from our energy medicine devices, to offset everything else and to get everything else negative out of your life. Negative people, negative food, negative habits, negative emotions. You've got to work on it, and it's all about connecting to your breath. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Keeping a slight smile on your face, and do that mirror work. All right. So understand this, that here's the problem you're going to have. Those of you that have displaced calcium like crazy, scar tissue, crystallization, and you've been backing your bowels up and your liver up, and it's all backed up into your organs, you're going to have to really get your game on. All right? Hey, nothing better to do right now than to get your game on. There's not a lot going on, is there? So let's talk about the perfect day diet. So let's start at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're just going to walk through some things. So the first thing I do in the morning, before I even open up my eyes, is I do lion heart breathing. See, I'm conditioned for this now. First thing, I'm going to set my intention. I'm going to get into my breathing, which is 6 seconds in and 7 seconds out. I'm going to put one hand on my belly, other hand on my heart, okay? I'm going to start off with that, and right beside me, okay, right beside me, and while I'm doing that, I'll tell you that in a second, I'm going to do my lion heart breathing, and I'm going to do my gratitudes. I'm going to talk about all the things I'm grateful for in this life. I'm going to think about the people that, that I really want to think about, and I really want to resolve things with them. And I know I can do it. And picture that. Picture moving forward with your life, clearing things out of the way, okay? And then I'm going to do belly button therapy. And depending on whether I do that, I might do belly button therapy. You can check it out in my information in the Perfect Day Guide. And you can also go and check out the Holy Grail of Healing. It's a video, and I'll do, belly button therapy. Sometimes I'll do some padding or clapping in the morning when I feel I really need it, if I've got a stiff neck or something. And then I always do my Bioptron, and I'll do my Bioptron for at least 20 minutes, which is a light. It's a really healing light. I'll do that while I do my meditation and prayer, okay? At 7 a.m., okay? Understand something, everybody. Hot, structured water, okay? And if you don't have a structure unit, get hot water. Hot water is the key right now. Hot water is the key because when you drink hot water, it's going to what? What does it do? It opens things up. Hot water opens things up, and it loosens things up. So that means the mucus in your mouth, the mucus in your throat, okay? That means any virus in here, it's going to grab onto that. It's going to take it down. It's going to take all that mucus down, and we're going to clean that out. And then that virus is going to come down to your stomach, and your stomach acid is going to kill the virus because your stomach acid can kill the virus. So you're going to drink a hot drink, not hot that you burn yourself, but hot enough every 20 minutes you're going to drink. Every 20 minutes. Did you get that? So what am I doing? I do it all day long. That's lemon, honey, cayenne drink. So what I've got is here's my container, 40 ounces, right? So that's 40 ounces boiled structured water. And then I put in 1.5 ounces of lemon, and I put in 2 tablespoons of honey, and then I put in a pinch of cayenne. And then I drink this hot all day long. So that's going to be cleaning me out and cleaning out the mucus, cleaning out the congestion. I mean, it's one of your best weapons, everybody. One of your best weapons you're going to have. All right? And then what I do also is I fill up another jug, and I put lemon lift in, or orange burst, or super cinnamon. They're essential oils. Viruses can't live in essential oils. Just know that. So if you were drinking the rest of the water, so I'm drinking this 40 ounces throughout the day. When I have another container just like this one, and it's filled up, and it's got my essential oils in. And today I'm doing super cinnamon. And super cinnamon helps to balance your blood sugar levels. Okay? And then the lemon lift is more for cutting mucus. All right? And then we have orange burst as well. So, just something for you to think about. So drink every 20 minutes to flush viruses from your mouth to your stomach to be neutralized, okay? Also, the hot drinks liquefy the mucus to keep things moving all the way down, okay? All right. Next thing is oil pulling. But, oil pulling is great. I mean, let's really clean up the mouth, bring up the vibratory level of the mouth, and use castor oil. It's actually even stronger than coconut oil. You can go on the website, not my website, but go on the World Wide Web and look up castor oil for oil pulling. And it's better than coconut oil, all right? And what I do is I take the castor oil, and I'll take a tablespoon of it, And then in the castor oil, I'll put in what's called Healthy Mouth. It's one of our essential oils. I'll put Healthy Mouth essential oil in that, and I'll switch that around. Here's the deal, okay? And you're going to know where you stand. If you have never really been involved in cleaning your colon, cleaning your liver, then you want to take a look at doing the ultimate coffee enema. Please, let's listen to me. Women, do this. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. I have been teaching this, and you can believe this or not, but I've got families that we have taught how to do the ultimate coffee enema, but on younger children, you just need to do like a warm water enema with tummy love, right? You can put tummy love in it. That's it. You don't need more than that because they're not all crusty like us, right? So anyways, so you can do the ultimate coffee enema for adults. And I'd be ordering one today. If you're not doing it, just do it. And yes, the first couple of times it's going to be messy and it's hard to do and it's uncomfortable. And especially for men, they don't want to put it up there. But if you want to save your butt and more, you'll want to do an ultimate coffee enema for adults. And if you want to call me, you can. But, to do one twice a day, even for, I would be doing right now, one twice a day for probably anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. You can call me and tell me how you're feeling, what's going on. And you can take a look at, we have stainless steel bucket, and here's the coffee. And the other thing you're going to use is tummy love. And you're also going to use black gold, okay? Black gold when you do it. So it's black gold, tummy love, and the enema bucket. And then go take a look in my perfect day guide in my library, or just email me at quickstart@docofdetox.com, and I give you everything, the 7 most empowering steps. And then you want to do this coffee enemas in the morning and at night. And I'm going to tell you something. When you see what comes out and you see what it smells like and you see the energy you have and the clarity you have in your head, and wouldn't you like to get rid of all the chemicals from all that toxic food, the alcohol, the drugs you've done, prescription or street, okay, and all the toxic emotion that gets held in the liver, which is what? Hate. Hate is held in the liver, where fear is held in the kidneys. Got it? Okay. All right. And I think stubbornness would be held in the bowels, right? Yeah, not letting go. Okay, so, and then for the children, even young children, you can use like an enema, but just only putting in a few ounces. But understand something. If somebody's got a fever, if somebody's feeling really sick, and you do an enema, that fever's going to come down. And guess what? You didn't kill the fever, right? Like with drugs, what you did was you reduced the toxic load, allowed the immune system to come right back up. So understand that. Why did every house back in the 1900s have an enema bag under the bed or in the bathroom? Well, because X-Lax took over, toxic X-Lax, and then every other drug came in and took over nature, took over our natural way of living, okay? All right, so we talked about that. I'm going to try to go through this fairly quick. So then I'd say 7:30 a.m. I just roughed this out really quick for you guys, okay? It's some place to start, all right? 7:30 a.m. I'll do hot structured, my hot structured drink. It could be lemon water or any other healthy drink. Every 20 minutes, a hot drink, okay? 8 a.m., I do my daily cleansing tea. And of course, with the situation that's going on right now, if you really want to bring it in lockdown, you'll do 1 tablespoon of Humic, 1 teaspoon of Fulvic. And if I was really unhealthy, I would be doing that twice a day if I had an autoimmune disease or something. And I'd also be looking at doing the coffee enema twice a day. And I'd also definitely, everybody needs to get on this. I know I'm not trying to break your bank. So if you can find the products from somewhere else, get them. I'm just going over what you need to do if I was in your situation. Daily cleansing tea is not a laxative, not a stimulant. And guess what? If you did it every morning and every night, you're not backing up the toxins. You wouldn't be in 95% of the trouble that people are in today. Did you hear what I just said? Well, let me put it to you this way. Don't believe me, but the Royal Society of Medicine did a study, and they said that if the large intestine was functioning properly, that 85% of the illnesses that people get they would never get them. So, all right. Daily cleansing tea, you do that in the morning, and then you would do it again at night. And then the fulvic acid, humic acid, tummy love. And for children, all right, for children, if you give a teenager or 1 tablespoon of this, you are going to protect them against the virus. And because it's 25% fulvic and 75% humic. All right. So an adult could do that too. So if you wanted to just do 1 tablespoon of this a day, if you're in really good health, and if you're not, 1 tablespoon twice a day. And for those of you who really are really leery, I already showed you the humic and fulvic, so you can go even higher with that. Okay. All right. Let's move on. So don't forget about exercise, guys. If you don't move it, you're going to lose it. You've got to have the circulatory system going here. Do not be caught up on the computer and sitting there worrying. Make sure you go for walks. Make sure you get your exercise. I would tell everyone out there, take a look at our pelvic activation squat, our pelvic enhancer, rebounding, okay? I would take a look at those because those are the most effective exercises. The pelvic activation is just, if you go and watch the Holy Grail of Healing, it's on YouTube. You'll see it in there along with the belly button therapy, and also the pelvic enhancer, where you put one leg up, one leg down. The more you can open up your pelvis, that is your root chakra. Your pelvis and your lower abdomen, that's where 85% of your energy is made. That's where 85% of your energy is stored. So the more you open that up and unblock it, the better you're going to be. The other thing is I'll tell you right now, I know this might be hard for you to do, but the sooner you get into intermittent fasting, and you can go till 11 or 12 o'clock with just doing the honey lemon drink, the daily cleansing tea, the fulvic acid, the humic acid, that's about it. You just want to bring the liquids in, because in the morning, that's when we really detox. And for those of you who can't afford it and your bowels are slow and you can't afford it, or you don't have it right now, do not let your bowels back up. I'm telling you that right now. Do not do that. You can try a tablespoon of Himalayan salt in a large quart of warm hot water, okay? And then drink that first thing in the morning. And then you're going to start flushing, move that waste out. Listen to me. Isn't it kind of funny? The medical system will not look at the large intestine until you are in severe problems, and then it's antibiotics. If you do what I'm asking you, you'll never be in trouble that way, and you're going to be able to turn the burner off, which means you're going to get yourself out of that 911 emergency. So really respect that bowel and start doing those coffee enemas. Okay, so 11 a.m. was, try not to eat till then. So we want to try not to eat from the time we have supper until 11 a.m. the next. And if you have to eat at nighttime, make it something easy like fruit or something like that, okay? Or make yourself a really great blender drink. I'm going to go through that in a bit. So intermittent fasting until 11 a.m., blender drink. You can do a blender drink at 11 a.m., or you could do vegetable juicing at 11 a.m. So let's talk about my blender drink. What I do is I take a half a packet of vanilla Moringa protein. Now, this is more expensive than most protein powders, but this is the best protein powder I've found on the planet. It is a multi-level. I'm not into the multi-level aspect. So understand, like, my checks are like $35 or something like that, or $55. If you call the office, we'll get you signed up for wholesale. But I take a half a packet of Moringa per person when I make a blender drink, right? Because I'll make a blender drink twice a day, and I use vanilla. They also have it in chocolate if you want. But what I do is I take a half a packet, and I take the vanilla, and then what I do is I put in 1 to 2 organic free-range eggs. You don't have to do that, but understand, everybody goes, raw eggs, wouldn't want to get sick. If they're free-range organic, you're not going to get sick. You've never heard of anyone getting sick from those. And you don't even know anybody probably who even got sick from doing raw eggs. So let's just put that one to the side. Decide if you want to do it. If you're not comfortable, don't. Then what I do is I take 1 cup of fresh or frozen berries. Berries, highest in vitamin C, highest in antioxidants. And then I take a half a banana, okay? And then what I do is I take 1 to 3 scoops of our Mag Infusion Magnesium. I'll take a tablespoon of black gold. Okay, so that's the black gold. And I use our magnesium because our magnesium, it heats up in the body and it fuses right in. So you can take a fair amount of it and it's never going to give you loose stool because it goes right into your system. So I will, like I said, I'll do about, there's these little scoops. So I'll do about 3 scoops of magnesium, 1 tablespoon of black gold. You can use organic coconut milk, almond milk, or structured water if you want, or just water. And then blend the ingredients, and I'm telling you, it's delicious. It's amazing. So I'll do 2 of those a day. So I did one already. I'll do another one as soon as the show's over, and then I'll go and have a salad tonight, okay? Next thing is, so juicing, if you don't want to do a blender drink, do juicing. I mean, carrot juicing is amazing. It really is. And then, you could do like, what I tell people is, you could do like 12 ounces of celery juice, and I will drink at least 40 ounces of carrot juice in a day. I don't do it every day. Sometimes I like to take a break, but I'll do like sometimes 40 ounces of carrot juice. Really get that juicer going. It's so good for you. You'd be surprised. I want everybody to understand something. Get rid of the junk foods and understand something. You don't need 3 meals a day to be healthy. If you eat 3 meals a day, you're probably not healthy. Did you get that? Okay. All right. I take also curcumin cayenne. I hope you know something. They talk about vitamin C all the time. Excuse me. Water. They talk about vitamin C all the time, and it is really good. But think about this. In India, in other place in the Middle East, they use a lot of turmeric and cayenne. They do. Now, turmeric is good for you, but curcumin has 20 times more of the curcuminoids in it. It's concentrated turmeric. So that's why you want curcumin, not turmeric. The next thing is we take what's called African cayenne, and we put 8% of African cayenne here to trigger the curcumin. And I'll tell you something right now. They have been doing this for, thousands of years. Why curcumin and cayenne in the Middle East? Well, because they don't have refrigeration. So when they take that product, they know that they are getting rid of the bacterial that could be created in the body. And that's why this product here, the curcumin cayenne blend, this is the most used product around the world for inflammatory problems and even cancer. So remember something. Your goal is to reduce your inflammation to as close to 0 as possible. And that your immune system will just come back. So understand that. And if you don't get that part, it's not going to work out well. So let's say, and then at 12 o'clock, after you've done your blender drink at 11, you could do a rainbow salad. Please take a look at the perfect day for that. And it's a rainbow salad. And you could put some beans on it, or you could put some chickpeas on it, but don't put both. Or you could put just avocado on it. So you decide what's best for you, okay? And don't forget, a hot drink every 20 minutes. Set your phone to go off every 5 to 15 minutes to remind you about what? Drinking, Lionheart breathing, I got this, and to keep you in the present moment. What if you were to set your phone to go off and do a really beautiful ding every 5 minutes, and then you said to yourself, okay, where am I right now? Am I worried about something, or am I in the present moment, totally focused on where I am right now, and am I focused on something that is totally positive and creating the best life that I can for myself? I'll tell you, that's what I did. I actually had, and I tell people to do it, and it changes their lives. I have people, I go, look at, if you set your phone every 5 minutes and you just do what I say, listen, I have So many people that call me up and say, I want to kill myself. I know it's against my religion, but I want to kill myself. I can't live anymore. And I'm telling you, we turn them around really fast with doing these things, because guess what? Can you believe that people actually, hundreds of thousands of people have killed themselves unknowingly or knowingly because of a thought? A thought is the most powerful thing, most important thing you'll ever have in your life. It's invisible. You can't hold it, but it's held in your mind. And if it's the wrong thought, it's a landmine, and it could take your life. It can make you make very bad decisions about what you eat, drink, and think. All right? So then at 2 o'clock, I would do my fulvic acid, humic acid, or tummy love, okay? And I would take 2 to 5 drops of super cinnamon or orange burst or lemon lift, and I would put that right in with the fulvic or with the tummy love in the water. That's what you call a power drink. It's called power water. Understand something. When you're bringing in all these high vibrational things, we're going to nail this thing. We're going to take this thing to the bank, okay? And then I'll do some more curcumin cayenne. For me, I'll do 2 to 3 curcumin cayenne 3 to 4 times a day, depending on how I feel. Okay, rainbow salad at 5:30. You know, because most people eat a lot. They got to eat because they're nervous, and that whole 3 meals a day thing. I mean, what do you think you are? Lumberjack? Most people just sit around and they eat. They sit around, they eat. Okay? Guess what? When you're hungry, I want you to drink. When you're tired, I want you to drink. When you're upset, I want you to drink. And I want you to think and breathe. Okay? So, again, probably 2 salads a day, 2 blender drinks a day. If you want to eat some fruit, go ahead. But if you do all these things and drink all these things, you're not going to be hungry and you're going to be healthy. That's it. And it's all about movement, everybody. Move it or lose it, okay? Listen, when you're moving, you're exercising, don't get stagnant. Oh, my God. Stagnant means swamp. Swamp means mosquito. Don't want any mosquitoes. So keep everything moving. Keep the mucus moving out. Keep the blood flowing. Get the lymph flowing. Get your life going. Okay? All right. Okay, so where are we here? So I tell everyone, too, that comes to me, I say also before you go to bed, do the pelvic activation squat. All right? And do the pelvic expander. You can see that all in the Holy Grail of Healing video. All right? And start practicing your breathing techniques. All right? And at nighttime, I tell everyone, oh, not just at night, but for those of you, I'm going to give you 2 things. This is ATP. We're the only ones who carry life crystals, okay? With, this is actually life crystals with fulvic and humic acid. Can you believe that? And both of these products. So when you're taking these products, they're bringing up your immunity, not just by chelating the heavy metals out, not just by coating any viruses or organisms you don't want in your body, but the ATP in here is the only organic ATP that I know of in the world. And life crystals in the ATP, this is called ATP Plus, it goes in and it helps to increase your energy, but it goes in and actually, guess what it does? It repairs your mitochondria. And your mitochondria are responsible for keeping your immune system healthy. And actually, you know, everybody talked about what was really the immune system of the body. It's actually your mitochondria. They are the powerhouse of energy, okay? So this is for energy and to restore your mitochondria. Now, this will do the same. This will help with the mitochondria. But this, you know what this helps with? Thyroid problems, emotional problems, calming your mood down, and really getting rid of stress. I mean, we have such amazing testimonials on this. All right, let's keep moving. And I take that throughout the day. I might do like, I do ATP more than Divine Vine, but I may do it like 5 times a day myself. I'm not telling you to do it, but if it fits in your budget, you're going to want to try it, okay? All right. So, and then essential supplements, other things, you might want to make sure you're taking fatty acids, everyone. And I'm telling you right now, vitamin D, everybody out there, you need to take vitamin D. I'll tell you what, I was always doing 15 to 20,000 units of vitamin D every day. We've got capsules that are 5,000 units each. But now I've got a vitamin D light. And if you take a look on my website at EMF/light, you can buy yourself a vitamin D light that'll cost you around $1,200, $1,300. And that's it. You stand in front of it for 2 minutes. Your front, 2 minutes in your back, and it totally saturates your body with D. And understand something, nobody's getting the D they need. And D is not a vitamin. It's a hormone regulator, and it's an immune modulator, and it's the most important one of all the so-called nutrients out there. So, and it's inexpensive as well. So that's really important. And then also take a look at Iderol for thyroid, iodine, okay, to protect yourself. And like I said earlier, look at our Mag Infusion Magnesium. Why? Because it relaxes you. Okay, why? Because it helps your heart beat properly. Why? Because magnesium helps you to sleep. It balances you out. There's so many other things. All right, so before you go to sleep, do Lionheart breathing, belly button therapy, or gratitudes, or do your patting and clapping. And definitely never forget your meditation or prayer. Very important. And focus on the way you want to see things. And thank your Creator for giving you everything that you've ever wanted. And even if it's not here yet, just know it's on the way and have faith about that. Now, everybody, when I was talking about the clapping, I will be doing Friday. I will be doing at 3 o'clock. I'm going to teach how to do clapping, just the lung area, okay, as he coughs, the lung area, and I'm going to teach you all the other things that you can do to loosen up your lungs and get rid of all that mucus congestion and all that stuff out of there, okay, because we can do this. We can do this together. And if you don't have time to watch it, then watch it when you can. But try to join us, because I'll be answering questions, and I'm going to try to answer some questions today as well. Now, other things I'd like you to look at are Avacen, Bioptron, and the sentient element. Why is that? Well, I want you to go and take a look at all the other energy medicine out there in the world, and then take a look at these three things. Avacen increases the circulation in the human body. Are you ready for this? Okay, 100% more than any other device, energy device, that's ever been made. And that, you can take that to the bank. You know, the inventor of Avacen went for a meeting today, okay? And he went for a meeting today with an agency, a government agency, because Avacen's ability to increase the oxygen level and the circulation level in the lungs to get rid of the virus. Did you hear what I just said? How big is that? I'm going to try to get him on this week and do a special show, because it's going to be mind-blowing, okay? Because understand this. Avacen will increase the circulation in the human body by 66%. Nothing else has been able to do that. Not hyperbaric chambers. Nothing else can do that. All right? And just letting everybody know, and I don't mean to come off like a sales pitch, we have $500 off on the Avacens right now. They're $4,000. It's $3,500 for them, so you can check that out. And then check out the Bioptron and the sentient element, and you'll understand why I brought those up, okay? All right. So let's talk about the top immune support strategies. First of all, be grateful and show gratitude no matter where you are in your life or what is going on in your life. I know it's a big test, but that's the whole thing. Mind over matter. Where your mind goes, your body follows, and your mind creates your world. Okay? Make sleep a priority. Let me tell you something. If you can't get to sleep, you call me. You can't go for days without sleeping. You wear yourself down. This is not going to work well. And all of these people that are needing all this help, sleep support equipment, that's how messed up this world is. Okay? Between their emotional madness and the mucus that they're piling inside of their lungs, that's why they can't sleep. And their nervous system is blown out. All these people who can't sleep at night, they're totally exhausted, but their mind won't stop. Please check out Quick Start at docofdetox.com and start doing the Braveheart work. Okay, number 3, avoid sugar in all processed food. Number 4, practice intermittent fasting and advanced water fasting. Guys, you know what? Take a look at advanced water fasting. My advanced water fasting guide is in my library. Please watch the video, okay? I want to talk about that right now. Did you know you can go on a water fast and do ATP, do Ormus ATP plus, do Ormus minerals, and also do fulvic acid. Where did I put that? Okay. And then do fulvic acid right here. If you do those three things, you'll be able to do a water fast. Okay, and please look at Gandhi, Jesus. They did water fasting. Do you know how it improved their health, how it improved their mind, how it brought their vibration up? Do you know how it brought their vibration up so that they could help to feed their spirit? You know, that's what fasting does. It feeds your spirit, which heals your body. And I'm telling you right now, you can do a water fast and go through pain and suffering, or you can go through an advanced water fast and do the fulvic acid, do the ATP plus, do the Ormus minerals, okay? Do Himalayan salt with a quart of water every morning, and then implement the ultimate coffee enema with using, I showed you earlier, this S.A. Wilson coffee enema, and using Tummy Love and Black Gold, and you will change your life. You will see that you can cure the incurable. You will see that you can do the impossible, but you're going to have faith in that created you, and you're going to have to believe in yourself, and you're going to have to know that God does not create junk, okay? All right, let's move on. So number 5, eat a whole plant-based diet everywhere you can, even if it's frozen vegetables, even if it's frozen berries, and make sure that you if you have a structured water unit, that you structure everything you drink, and you use structured water and baking soda to clean your fruits and vegetables. Okay? All right? I'm not covering everything that needs to be covered here today, people, but yeah, I just threw this together. And if you knew everything else that was going on, I mean, I'm getting like 100 calls sometimes every day, even through the weekends now. And we're doing what we can, but I'm only a guy. But I'm working on it. Okay, number 7, regular movement and exercise. Guys, if you're starting to feel sluggish from sitting down, I'm going to tell you something. This is a true story. Sunday morning, I felt exhausted. I felt so pooped out mentally and physically. And I just went, I got this. And I went and did an hour workout. I'm a little sore today, but I went and I pumped it. And I just went, yeah. And I felt so vibrant. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. Start off slowly if you don't exercise, but we need to get into this. Start moving your body. Really get it going. Find things you love and then do them. This week, too, what I'll show you is this week, I'm going to do a FaceTime, and we'll put it up on YouTube. And I'll just show you, I'll talk about what I do in my workout. So, because we need to start really getting healthy, world. Okay? This is a Braveheart world. We need to bring it on. You need to say yes to you and no to them. All right. Drink plenty of structured water and hot, healthy drinks. Everybody. Make it warm. Keep it moving. Number 9, get plenty of vitamin D. Go outside, get plenty of sunlight, fresh air. Practice your Lionheart breathing out there. Number 10, humic, fulvic, and curcumin cayenne. Think about those, please, those 2 products. Drink daily cleansing tea twice a day, every day. Do an ultimate coffee enema as much as possible. Once a day, maybe for the next 30 days here to really, because what are you doing? You need to go and read about this, okay? Go into my Perfect Day Guide or go into Fasting for Perfect Health and take a look what a coffee enema does. It purges your liver. It's the best liver cleanse you're ever going to do. It's going to get rid of emotional, negative feelings that you've buried. It's all called issues in your tissues, guys. There's nobody that has a condition that doesn't have issues in their tissues. And those issues will go to the tissues that vibrate the same. Do you understand? Okay? All right, number 12. Do the Braveheart 12 Loving Steps, then join the Braveheart course online. Okay. All right. So remember this. For maximum effectiveness of treatments and medicines, it is vital to open up your respiratory pathways. However, all of this takes a number of days or quicker if you know what you're doing. Okay? So remember something. We're going to do the clapping and the padding course, 3 o'clock on Friday, and I'm going to go through everything that you can do to have strong lungs. I'm going to show you what to do. We're going to be set up for it. Oh, not Friday. We moved it to Monday. Thank you, Lewis. We had to move it to Monday, everybody, because if I did it on Friday, it would be hectic. So on Monday, we're going to do that, all right? Just so everybody knows, all right? So here we go. Let's see what we have for questions. Oh, I was going to go over, before we go to the questions, I'm going to go over a couple other things. And that is this, guys, about nebulizing, okay? See? You can nebulize the SAC calcium. You can, but the ones we really that I would really consider is nebulizing silver bullet, okay? All right? And this same silver bullet is the silver bullet spray that you can put in your ears. You can put it in your eyes. You can put this in your mouth. You can spray this on your keyboard to help to neutralize things. You can also, so what you do is you just put your mouth like this, and you breathe in, and you take it in to help to clean the sinuses, all right? And the lungs. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, before we moved on, was silver gel. And you can mix what we have as our immunity. This is called our immunity. And if you knew the Black Plague, in the Black Plague, it's the same similar formula back then when they used this to actually go, and these robbers would actually go around stealing the jewelry off people that were getting sick. And they would use this, and they'd put this same formula we call immunity, and they put it on their throat, okay? They would put it on their chest. They would put a couple drops in their mouth, okay, to protect themselves. And that's what you can do. But you can take silver gel and you can put the immunity in with the silver gel and use that as a hand sanitizer. But understand something. I really believe you do need to you really do need to wash your hands a lot. And understand something. Long as it soaps up, you don't need to have antibacterial soap. If you want to get it, get it. I'm not telling you not to. I just don't believe in it because it's caused a lot of troubles for everywhere because it gets rid of your good bacteria that's on your skin. So that's why I say just get yourself a natural organic soap and then use the, after you wash, use the silver bullet with the immunity in there. Or if you want to use another essential oil, put that into the silver bullet gel. Okay? I'm seeing. Also, if you have, if you're not going to change your diet, you better make sure that you're doing hydrochloric acid when you do protein, because you don't want to burn out your hydrochloric acid in your stomach because it's going to be needed to do the viruses. So the more animal products, the more dead food, the more toxic food you do, and the more you overeat and the more dairy you do, the more you're going to burn out the HCl, the hydrochloric acid that's naturally in your stomach for your viruses. So the more lean, keen, fresh and raw, whole plant-based foods, the more cleaning you do, the more vibrant you're going to become, the more your hydrochloric acid becomes stronger. Did you get that? And that's going to be really important. But you might want to take a look at HCl. And those of you who have really bad mucus congestion in your body, take a look at the curcumin cayenne I showed you, and also FiberClear. FiberClear is a systemic enzyme. So if you took like the curcumin cayenne, okay, I have a gentleman, okay, and his mucus congestion and his lungs, and he had so much inflammation and scar tissue in his feet, everywhere through his whole body was like beef jerky. I got him to do, are you ready for this? I got him to do 10 FiberClear. I'm not telling you to do it, 5 times a day. And I got him to do 3 curcumin cayenne 4 times a day. And then he went to Dean Saleo, one of our non-surgical therapists, and he pulled the scar tissue apart. And guess what? Changed his whole life. and understand that. And if you've got a lung problem right now, you should go and see one of my Wolfe non-surgical therapists, and they'll go in, and we have a technique called Wolfe non-surgical that I put together a quarter of a century ago. They'll go in and work on you for 40 minutes, and guess what? I guarantee you, if you did you notice Marion's testimonial the other day? She said that her breathing went from 10% to 100% in one treatment. If we go in and open up your ribs, we open up your lungs. Did you get that? Okay. All right. I'm going to be talking about that, and I'm actually going to be showing it when I do the clapping and patting. All right. So don't forget, order lots of Braveheart bands, or just get yourself a hairband and start working on this stuff, everybody. Okay. And let me show you this. Here's the perfect day guide that has at least the starter of how to do the perfect day in it. And also, you want to take a look in there. Also, is the Ultimate Coffee Enema. You want to take a look at my Fasting for Perfect Health. That's in my library. And then here's the Braveheart guide. And this is all your emotional work. I have a guide that you read, and then I have videos that you follow. And there's a questionnaire after every video. All right? And all of this is free to you. What are you worth? Are you worth doing this, or is it Netflix tonight? Okay? All right? Okay. Maria. Dr. Wolfe, I can't eat solid food. Is that from today? Today. I can't eat solid food. What can I eat? Please help. I am eating disorder. Well, actually, when you have an eating disorder, you actually have an emotional disorder. And I don't want to really call it emotional disorder. I want to say this, though, Maria, that you have beliefs that were given to you by your parents or other people, and you have to go in and wean those out. It truly is. Eating disorders are emotional disorders, and the emotional disorder is being unworthy, not being good enough, fear. It's just negativity. But the reality is Maria, if you could do the perfect day diet and really start bringing your nutrition up, because I will tell you something. And if you've got an eating disorder, if you do, are ready for this? If you do Divine Vine, lots of it throughout the day, and you do what's called SON formula, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. These two products are amazing for addictions. Amino acids, think about that. Amino acids for the brain, all right? And Divine Vine to calm out your moods, to balance your hormones, to calm your thyroid, your adrenals. It's all about that, okay? So that you're not overreacting, okay? But I will tell you that you need to just start heading towards the perfect day diet. Stop bringing the foods home that you are addicted to. Make yourself have to go out and get them. Do not bring them home. That's the ticket. And if there's people in your house that are bringing it home, you need to have a meeting right now, everybody. You need to say, I'm going to make this place a health love zone. Nobody's allowed to bring any garbage home. Nobody's allowed to bring anything toxic home. That's it. And guess what? I know we're all going to be going through withdrawal to a certain degree. So what? That person starts going and having a fit, get in the car, go out and do it. But at least make it hard enough that you can stop some of these bad habits. Let me tell you something. Right now, we have this huge crisis, but honest to God, everybody's freaking out. But do people really care? I mean, do corporations care? Do systems really care? I mean, they're not going to care unless the majority cares for themselves. You got to bring it back to yourself. Let me tell you something, Maria. You got to learn how to love yourself, all right? If you want, you can call up and book a consult with me, and I'll take you through the steps. Julie, is DMSO safe to put on wrinkles and dark spots? Yes, it is. But where are the wrinkles? I mean, you could put the rose DMSO. That's really easy. you could put that on, but first do a test on your wrist to see if it irritates you. Let me tell you something. A lot of people are allergic to life. DMSO is made for trees, for pity's sakes. DMSO is also one of the things that can take away pain, arthritis. It can help to soften up scar tissue, crystallization, calcification, joint problems. Of course, the system out there doesn't like it. It's inexpensive. It can reduce pain greatly. So yes, I don't know. I wouldn't be putting it on wrinkles if it was on your face because I don't know your condition. All right. And I'll tell you one thing right now, that you wouldn't have wrinkles if you were hydrating and if you were doing the padding and the clapping and if you're using like our Fulvic face toner. Okay. So there's lots of things I'm going to be teaching in all these classes. There just seems to be so much right now, but the DMSO, you can put it on your joints, definitely. You can put it on your muscle tissues. I don't know where the wrinkle is, so I wouldn't be putting it on there. And guess what? If you look at a wrinkle, especially a deep wrinkle, it's not, okay, a wrinkle's not a wrinkle. To have an actual crease in here means that you actually have scar tissue and you've got a deep crease in the muscle. A deep crease in the muscle will cause the wrinkle. Now you can go in there and we show you how when we show the clapping and padding, that's going to help. But this isn't really a time for facial stuff. These are just questions. These are not questions about what we talked about today. I'm going to take all the questions. All right? And I'm going to, from last week and these here, and we're going to shoot them, right, Lewis? I'm going to answer all your questions and they're going to be up. When they're going to be up, I don't know. I'm just trying to catch up. Right now, I've got 45 callbacks to do to my patients. So I'm going to be doing those tomorrow. And what else do we have going on tomorrow? Is there a practitioner? And tomorrow I have a practitioner meeting. But call in. My extension is 5. I'll get back to everybody. I just won't get back to you right away. If you give me 48 hours, I'm going to make calls back. And just know that it is my honor. It's my pleasure to do this. So what do we got going on this week? Let me see here. Here we go. Okay. April the 4th, we have our courses. I know other people can't come from around the country. We have 2 spots left. And our April course here for our certifications is still happening with the Wolfe, with Whole Life Coach and Wolfe Non-Surgical course. Orlando, we'll be doing certifications in Orlando in September, Palm Springs in November. Upcoming shows this week. We have a 3-part series, everybody. You're going to love this. Isn't this perfect timing? Well, I don't know if it's perfect timing. But on Wednesday, right? Is it Wednesday? No.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. On Tuesday, we will be having ATP and immunity with Joshua Flint and myself. And we're going to be talking about ATP and your immune system. Okay? And how we use life crystals with Fulvic and how we use the Humic to build up your immune system. All right? So that'll be at 3 o'clock. And then on Wednesday, we're doing chelation and immunization, okay, with Humic and Fulvic. All right? So we're going to be getting into great detail about that. And then on Thursday, we're doing a live Q&A with Joshua Flint, my alchemist who makes these products, and myself. We're going to answer all your questions on 3 o'clock on Thursday. And then Monday, we'll be doing the clapping, and I'll be showing you how to restore your lungs and how to have really strong lungs, okay? All right. And then Wednesday, April the 1st, is viruses, 5G, and frequencies with Peter Webb. And then on Thursday, April the 2nd, viruses, 5G, and frequencies, Q&A. All right? Everybody, I want to thank you for joining me. 1 second. Don't forget, warm water. Drink lots of warm water. Wash your hands often. Okay? All right? Put a smile on your face. And leave happiness wherever you go. And listen to me. don't worry. Please don't worry. Have faith in your Creator and learn to trust yourself, okay? Learn to trust your gut feelings about things, all right? And start holding the loving line, okay, so that you can learn how to love, honor, and protect yourself and become the light for your family. Thanks for joining me. I hope I wasn't too scattered, and but there's been a lot going on. Hey, Lewis? It's, yeah, where other businesses have kind of closed down, this one is kind of just moved to another level. And but guess what? 3, 2, 1. I got this because I am unlimited. Don't forget who created you. And remember, you were created to create. All right? We created this mess. Now let's get ourselves out of this. Let's work together. We're family. God bless. Thanks for joining. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.